Stage 7, The Surrender. Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. LOL, I am sorry. Intermission. Mark the narrator here again. I want to take a moment from the heartbreak to remind you of a very important message from the talented Wendy Mass, and it reads, "Be kind with your intentions, for everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about." Mad love. A month had passed since the tempestuous afternoon under the willow tree. Callum had been making a concerted effort to change, to be the man Ginger deserved. He'd attended therapy sessions and allowed it to become a sanctuary where he could unravel the knots of his past. But old habits die hard. One evening, as Ginger stirred a pot of curry chicken, his favorite Jamaican meal, a familiar dread crept into her. He was distant again for 2 weeks, but she said nothing. The aroma filled the kitchen, a tantalizing promise of warmth and comfort. Callum, his stomach growling in anticipation, watched her with hungry eyes. Then it happened. The curry, rich and aromatic, was ruined. A heavy hand had purposely salted it beyond redemption. Callum's face contorted in disgust as he tasted the dish. "Ginger love, what happened?" he asked, his voice calm but laced with disbelief. Ginger's patience, stretched thin, snapped. Imagine expecting a delicious meal, as is the norm, only to be met with this. She gestured to the ruined curry. "How do you expect me to function when you consistently pour salt into my wounds?" "I'm tired, Callum, utterly tired." Her words hung heavy in the air. Callum was stunned. He hadn't meant to hurt her, yet again. He saw the pain in her eyes, a reflection of his self-loathing. In that moment, clarity washed over him. He'd been so focused on the external, on proving himself, that he'd neglected the core of their relationship, trust and respect. "I'm so sorry, Ginger," he began, his voice barely a whisper. "I know I've been a selfish idiot, love." "Ah. I did not realize. I promise it was an oversight. I've been so wrapped up in getting things back to normal at the bakery that I've neglected the most important thing in my life, you." Ginger's heart softened at the sight of his vulnerability. She saw the genuine remorse in his eyes, a stark contrast to the calloused man she'd grown accustomed to. Yet, a part of her was wary, cautious. "I need to believe you, Callum," she said softly. "But actions speak louder than words. We need to rebuild. I am shattered." He nodded, his expression solemn. "I understand. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Let's start with couples therapy. I think it might help us communicate better." Ginger considered his proposal. It was a step in the right direction. Perhaps, just perhaps, there was hope for their love after all. As the days turned into weeks, Callum and Ginger navigated the treacherous waters of their relationship with newfound care. They attended couples therapy sessions, learning to communicate effectively and to understand each other's perspectives. Slowly but surely, the cracks in their relationship began to mend. The once vibrant spark between them was rekindled, but this time, it was grounded in a deeper understanding and respect. They rediscovered the joy of shared moments, the comfort of silence, and the strength of their love. Under the willow tree, where their journey had begun, they found solace and renewal, their hearts entwined in a way that was stronger than before. But then again, it was too soon. It was as if they neared the mountain's peak, and a cruel twist of fate intervened. Callum, in a moment of inexplicable regression, grabbed her jacket and with a deliberate tug, sent her tumbling back to the trailhead. He watched, his expression devoid of emotion, as she disappeared from sight. Ginger's world shattered in that heart-stopping moment when she realized he was back at square one. The promise of a future, built on hope and healing, crumbled into dust. Her faith in love, once a beacon, was extinguished. The man she had given her heart to had betrayed her most devastatingly. A profound sense of loss enveloped her. The woman who had once been vibrant and full of life retreated into a shell of despair. She resigned from the gallery, the once beloved space now a suffocating reflection of her depressed masterpiece, her image. Days turned into more weeks as she existed in a state of numbed indifference. Her solace once again became the willow tree, the ancient sentinel that had witnessed the birth of their love. Its gnarled branches, reaching towards the sky, seemed to offer silent companionship. Its leaves, a shimmering cascade of green, provided a soothing visual escape. The willow stood apart from the other trees, a solitary figure on the hillside, much like her. Its roots delved deep into the earth, a steadfast anchor against life's storms, and a symbol of resilience. She spent countless hours at its base, the rough bark a comforting touch against her skin. The tree, with its serene presence, seemed to absorb her pain, leaving her with a fragile sense of peace. The setting sun cast long, dancing shadows on the grass, creating an ethereal ambience that offered a temporary respite from her sorrow. As darkness enveloped the world around her, Ginger would lie beneath the willow, staring at the indifferent sky. The once comforting universe in which she existed now seemed oblivious to her plight. There were no whispered prayers that night, no silent pleas. Just an empty void where hope once resided. She did not utter a word, only tears until she fell asleep under the willow tree.